Okay, I've been asked by the mother of one of my students, hey Allison, and the student is Leo. She said he's having difficulty with the very end of Ashokian Farewell, the very particular version, the way the composer Jay Ungar played it on a particular video which his son Leo plays along with. And it's the Folk Alley Sessions, if you want to look it up on YouTube. It's a beautiful version with his family band. I think it's his daughter and son playing second fiddle and banjo along with their mother, I think. So, I've met Jay Ungar. He's a nice guy and a good educator. I sat in one of his classes at his teaching conference one time. And the very end of Ashokian Farewell uses a D major arpeggio and goes into third position. That's what we'll be covering here. So the version I have on the Fiddle Jam Institute site here is I did a simpler ending. It stayed in first position. But the fancy ending he did, it's not super fancy, but the little bit fancy ending goes like this. I'll play it once, then I'll explain it. Pretty neat. I kept it an octave down on the version, the easy version on the site. So this version, it uses nothing but the D arpeggio, like I mentioned, which is Ds, F sharps, and As, nothing but, until the very last few notes. So it starts on A1 on the G string, goes to open D, F sharp 2 in the D string, open A, D3 on the A string, F sharp 1 on the E string. And then, if you're not familiar with third position, it goes to what's called third position. It's where you take your whole hand and slide it up so that your first finger is now where your third used to be. So the third finger is A3, but slide your first finger up to that note instead. So that's the tricky part. It's called shifting. So from open A, D3, F sharp, da. Ready? Slide. Do it as gently as possible. Let the thumb come with. Don't try and keep the thumb once when you shift. Don't try and keep everything in one spot and shift the finger only. Shift the whole hand gently. Let it brush lightly, okay? If you're classically trained, third position is probably quite familiar to you. Intermediate and up learns these things, and Vivaldi and these kind of things. But so here we go. Open A, D3, F sharp, slide. And now we're reaching a note that's beyond first position. It's the fourth finger in third position on the E string. The D. Now remember that the fingers, as just like any instrument, any stringed instrument, if you notice on a guitar with frets, all the frets, or a mandolin, they get closer and closer and closer. So does it on the violin. Everything will be a little bit tighter, closer together than you're used to in first position. Just the nature of strings and physics. So you don't have to reach too far. Just kind of plop it down. It should be about one fistful of fingers. All right. Usually a little more stretched out for first position. But there, it's not that far of a reach. So, yeah, I won't go into that. So from the very beginning, let's check this out first. Open A, or A1 on the G string. Open D, F sharp 2, open A, D3, F sharp 1. Shift to third position on A, and fourth finger D. Now the next note he played is also in first position, but he played it in third position. It's F sharp on the A string, so it's right next to it. So if there's your D4 in third position, F sharp is right with the third finger on the A string right next to it. They're tight right together. Try those two notes a few times. Make sure that spacing. They're not directly across from each other, just right below it. Just on the other string. So. And then he plays the note, the next note is E2, right below it, a whole step right below it, a space. And if you have it right in the tip, it's got kind of a neat sound, because open E will ring with it. Matter of fact, you can check E2 in third position on the A string with open E. See if they match. And if you play just the E2, hear the E ringing along? It's kind of a beautiful thing. It's like a little bit of echo or something, a reverb. And then he's back to first position. He plays open A, and during that, he slides his hand back to first position. The last two notes, C sharp, 2 as normal, and third finger D. So let's try the whole mess. A1, D open, F sharp 2, open A, D3, F sharp 1, slide to third position as gently as you can, fourth finger D, on the A string, F sharp 3, E2, kind of holds there, and then open A while you're shifting down the first position again, C sharp 2, and D. One more time. There you have it. One more time for fun's sake. I think he hit that last D twice. He did one D, and then the band hit with him, and he hit it again. So there you have it, Leo. Hope that helps, and hope it helps everyone else too, as Allison hoped. See you in the next lesson.